Welcome to the Math 1 Unit 2 Objective 4 Study Guide video. Today we're going to be talking about the applications of adding and subtracting polynomials and the exponent rules. Okay? So, one of the questions that gets commonly missed is this trapezoid question. Because it looks very difficult, looks intricate, got a lot of words in the question, and it's complex figures, but really all it is a plug and simplify question. So if you take the area formula of a trapezoid, area equals 1/2 the height times the base 1 plus the base 2, and we're just going to plug in our different values. So 1/2 is going to stay 1/2. The height is 10. We get that from right here. Okay? We'll take base 1 and we'll plug it in, x plus 5, and then the plus sign comes down, and base 2, which will be x minus 3, plug that in. Okay? So now we go through, and you can start wherever you'd like, but it's all about the same. It says start inside the parentheses according to the order of operations, so you can't do anything inside this parentheses because it's just 10 in there. But if you look inside this parentheses, you have an x and another x plus x is 2x, not x squared, because you're not multiplying, you're just adding. And then you have 5 minus 3, or 5 plus negative 3, and that is positive 2. Okay? And then the 10 comes back, and the 1/2 comes back. Okay? So now you take half of 10. What's half of 10? 5. And so then you have 5 times 2x plus 2. And then 5 times 2 is 10. Bring down your x. 5 times positive 2 is positive 10. And that's your area. It can be simplified no more. Okay, and make sure you simplify it all the way down, because it says very specifically in italics and underline that you need it in simplest form, and this would be the simplest because there's no parentheses, no like terms, and no negative exponents. Okay? So it says, what is the value of x when the perimeter of the triangle below is 93? So it's saying perimeter, which most of us denote as P, is, which means equals, 93. So it's telling you P equals 93. Well, what else do we know? We know perimeter is when you add all sides. So we have to add all these sides up, and it would equal 93. So you could do 4x plus 5 plus 10x minus 3 plus negative 8x minus 5 equals 93. Okay? And when it's add, technically you would put them all in parentheses, but when it's addition, you don't need the parentheses. And you just go through and you look for your like terms. Alright, plus and negative really is just a big minus. So I don't like two signs, and you shouldn't either, so you need to get rid of them as much as possible. So you have 4x's plus 10x's. That's 14x's. I'm just writing it here so you see where it comes from. Minus 8. 14 minus 8 is 6x's. Okay? Then we take 5 and we subtract 3. That's 2. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Okay? And also you could have done it this way. 5 minus 5 is 0, and that leaves you with negative 3. Either way you can look at it. And that still equals 93. Well, now it's just a two-step equation, so you're going to add 3 to both sides. You have 6x equals 96. You're going to divide by 6. Okay? X is going to equal 16. Okay? So it says make sure you go back and see what it asks. It says, what is the value of x? So we found x being 16. Okay? And then you want to just go back and double check to see if you're right by plugging it in. So you get 4 times 16 plus 5, 10 times 16 minus 3, and negative 8 times 16 minus 5. Okay? And so that gives you 64 plus 5, which is 69. This gives you 160 minus 3, which is 157. And then this gives you 8 times 4, negative 128 minus 5, which is negative 131. Okay? So now you add all that up to see if you get 93. Well, 157 minus 131 is 26. So then we're going to take 69 and add 26 to it. Okay? Is it 26? Yeah. Okay. Maybe I didn't do that right. Okay. And so I got 95. Let's see what I did wrong here. 4 carried 2. 64 plus 5. 160 minus 3 is 157. 8 times 6 is 48. Carried 4, 128. Oh, it's 133, not 131. Okay, and so then that should take 2 more off of this, which would make it 24, which will make that 93. Go back and double check here. I gotta check your checking, sadly. So we did it right. Sorry, that's my fault. Again, been a long day. So let's move on to question number 5. Find the area of the shaded region. Well, here you got to know what area of a shaded region means. And the best way to illustrate this is like the side of a house or a car, and here's your little window. Okay? And what it wants is the area of a shaded region, or how much area is the wall, not the window. Okay? So you have to take the window out. When you take the window out, you subtract it. Okay? That's what math means by taken out. Okay? And so what you'll do is you'll do the big area minus the small area. Okay? So really, we go in and we find big area. You get 36x squared minus 42x minus 7. And we're going to subtract the small area. So we're going to subtract 5x squared plus 16x. Now, notice how I put this in parentheses. You need to put it in parentheses, because if you don't, you'll forget to change this sign right here. Because that's a negative 5x squared, and that's a minus 16x. Okay? And I'll rewrite this. 36x squared minus 42x minus 7. Okay? And we'll combine like terms. 36x squared minus 5x squared is 31x squared. Negative 42x's minus 16x's is negative 58x. And then you have minus 7 just drops. And that's your final answer for number 15. Question number 16. It tells you the perimeter is this. Okay? It says what is the missing side? So we're looking for that. Well, when you have perimeter, you add all the sides up. So if we added all this plus this, we would get our perimeter. Which means if we took our perimeter and subtracted both of these, we would get that. Okay? So what we need to do is figure out what both of these are by adding them together. And then we can subtract that from this. So we would do 9x squared minus 16x plus 32 minus whatever we get here. So I'm going to go ahead and write 9x squared minus 16x plus 32 here. And then we're going to subtract something from up here. Okay? And that's going to be us adding this together. So we have x squared plus a negative 8x squared, or x squared minus 8x squared, which is negative 7x squared. So that's negative 7x squared. And then you have negative 5x plus 20. Negative 5x plus 20 is positive 15x. And then 10 minus 22 is negative 12. And so there's several ways you can look at this from this point. You can say, okay, how far is negative 7 from positive 9? How far is positive 15 from negative 16? How far is negative 12 from 32? And that'd be your remainder. Or you can subtract all this. Don't forget to subtract, which means you change the signs. Okay? Because subtracting a positive is really adding. I mean, subtracting a negative is really adding. Subtracting a positive is really subtracting. And subtracting a negative is really adding. So then you just kind of forget about this now that you distributed through. 9 plus 7 is 16x squared. Negative 16 minus 15 is negative 31. Because they're same signs, you add the numbers and keep the sign. And then 32 plus 12 is positive 44. And so this gives you the answer, and then you can double check, and then let's just hope I don't make another mistake. Okay, so you have, do your like terms, and when we add all these up, it should equal 9x squared. X plus 16x squared. X squared plus 16x squared is 17x squared. 17x squared minus 8x squared is 9x squared. Yay, that's what we wanted. Negative 5 minus 31. Negative 5 minus 31 is negative 36x. Negative 36x plus 20 is negative 16x. Good. Check. And then we have 10 plus 44 is 54. And so we take 54 and we subtract 22 and you get 32 and it's positive. So that gives us our answer. It checks. There we go. This concludes our Unit 2 Study Guide Objective 4 video. Please continue on for Objective 5, the last video. Study hard. Be ready for that test tomorrow.